The Level Podcast. Here we are. What do you think about the name? Tucker and Thompson.
Tucker and Thompson.
I think
Let's
so,
just
too.
get rid of the level.
I think so, too. I think we change it after
Tucker and
this one.
Thompson.
Tucker and Thompson.
That's solid.
I think so, too.
Yeah.
Plus, we could probably grab a couple that are looking for Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, they would. They would come across there.
It would like pop up with them. It'd be a nice little,
Tucker and Thompson. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I do like it for sure.
Yeah, it's better.
Tucker and Thompson. So that's going to happen. We're going to change that.
We'll keep it on the level, but yeah.
Yeah, we got to always keep it on the level. So you had a rough week, or how was your week?
Oh man, that's tough. Tough one. Yeah, tough. Got. I don't want to share too much of it because
Sure,
I don't want to poke a bear. I just want to be friends. Can we just be friends? I want to be friends. Hey, I got sued for $500,000. Then the insurance company took me. And that tornado that went through a long time ago. The insurance companies don't want to pay up, and then they basically stole $20,000 from me. And then
they don't have a choice, though, right? I mean, they have to pay.
No, man, they can. They got their guys working for them that say one story. Then you got to spend money. So then you got to go out and get your guys to work for you. And you got to call adjusters. But really, what they try to do is just stall you out. They just try to stall you out. And
they got to pay eventually.
But I'm gonna go like just scorch the earth on them in a minute. Like I pay to advertise on that sign down there off of Levitt, and I'm gonna employ 6,000 congregants to take them hostage and drop them. Yeah, man. Like I was like, and I won't do it for me because ultimately it's whatever. But you're stealing from people, and right now with inflation the way it is in the world, just burning. The world is coming apart. It seems right now.
Well, here goes so you're talking about the tornado that landed. How long ago?
August.
Okay, so we're in October.
Mm-hmm.
It's October.
It's like the second
1st.
or third week of August, and I'm still dealing with the. So I mean,
but here's the key: with
property
them
was
ships
destroyed.
closing down.
Yeah.
Now who knows what you're going to pay compared to that? Literally, they cost themselves more money at this point.
I mean, if they pay, if they pay. I don't even know. I don't know, man. What am I going to do? Like chase them forever? And how much money do you spend?
I mean, how much damage is over there?
A lot. I mean, my garage where I store all my equipment at my Wycliffe location is it's got holes in it. Like big tree limbs fell through. I got a gazebo that was probably 20 by 20, had electric, ran. It's just a tree fell out.
What about the stuff that was in the garage? Did any of that get damaged?
I mean, everything's getting wet.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like I got lawn equipment, I got tools, I got, you throw a tarp over it, but it's just that way. Then my main buildings, I got shingles missing, trees. I had to pay to clean up the
I thought it hit
trees.
in Avon. I didn't even know it hit in Willowwood.
It went all the way across the state.
Did it? Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Wow. I did not know that. But you didn't have any damage in Avon?
No. I mean, a tree fell down in the front, but it was a little one. So
didn't
I
hit nothing.
Cut it down and threw it away. But,
right.
you got to pay for all that stuff. And the insurance companies they don't, like.
You don't have a chainsaw?
Yeah. I went over there. I cut up my neighbor's tree in the backyard.
So
did
you
all
didn't have
that.
to pay for nothing.
I'm out there doing it. but the tree in Wycliffe was so big. I mean, it was 6-7 feet in diameter. Like it was a tree.
See, I got one like that in my backyard. I'm scared to death if it ever.
No,
comes
he needed
down.
heavy equipment to move that one, and I got a guy out there that he comes out and helps me because he loves Jesus and loves the church, so he comes out and does it for free. But that's not fair. I want to pay him.
Sure.
I don't want guys working for nothing.
No, there's no reason to work.
It's messed
for
up.
Nothing. Everybody's supposed to make their money.
For sure. And so I had that. Then I had a baby die, like a baby, and it came to the church, and the mom was real young, and
How old was the baby?
8 weeks old. She brought it to church, and she was tired, so everyone else took care of the baby for her. And that night, she went home. That Sunday night, she went home, and the baby died. Just SIDS.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was terribly sad. So the funeral's this Thursday. That was just a sucky week. Yeah.
That's SIDS things that was a scary thing. Everybody who takes their kids home, newborns.
Yeah.
So scary.
Yeah, you just wake up at night and listen to them breathe.
Yeah, and then they have all these stupid rules. Like when Alexa was born, they had these blocks. I don't know if you remember the blocks. that you would put them in. You'd swaddle them and just set them in there so they'd stay on their side.
Yeah.
Seemed to make sense to me.
It did, yeah.
But, we use those. But then when Haley was born, they're saying, oh, don't do that. And I'm thinking, why would you not do that?
You stick them in a crib with nothing,
that was the whole thing.
Seems so
and then,
callous and empty and depressing.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I put them on her. I put them on all 3 of my kids either way. I don't care what the new rules they said were. To me, it made sense.
I think SIDS, the sudden rise. Did you see where SIDS dropped off the map in 21?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, because they weren't offering vaccines that they would normally offer because of COVID. And now all these kids, mysteriously, SIDS disappeared.
And now it's back. Wow. And you think it has to do with the vaccines, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's what...
You like you some Bobby Kennedy, don't you?
I got the sense of a monkey. I got the good sense God gave chickens, so, I could draw a dot from here to there, I think.
Bobby Kennedy said
my man Bobby,
too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Amanda's got a friend. Well, it's her mom's friend. And she lives, I think, in New York or something, but grew up around here with her mom. Man, she was like on us. Like, when it was time. It's so stressful.
The
you don't know what to do.
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
I mean, you're so stressed. Your newborn mom, you know what I mean? And with Amanda, she's got the baby. Do you get the vaccines? Do you not? You got this woman screaming at you. Your doctor's telling you, what the hell do they know? You know what I mean?
No more than you, buddy.
It's just so much stress, dude. Yeah. That's a stressful time. And
I think logic
you don't want to
tells
make the wrong decision.
I think logic tells you a little bit. I mean, think about it, man. We were in high school. We were in school. We ate peanut butter squares.
Yeah.
You couldn't even take peanut butter into school today. What happened? What happened in 30 years? What happened, man? I tell you what happened. They multiplied vaccines by 100.
Yeah, I know I had to have vaccines. I remember having to have one because I remember at one point I couldn't go into...
Yeah, like polio or something, like...
No, we didn't get that, did we?
I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what I got. But
well,
I know
they had that big thing. Remember, they had that, like the people that are older than us, not
they
me
got
and
that
you.
Little, Vernon and my mom and your mom. They got that little thing
like
on
100 shots in one spot.
Looked like somebody took the car lighter and stuck it in them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or maybe that all came in one shot when we were a kid. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. But definitely, if you see that and you're like, oh, yeah, you're my mom's age.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. You know immediately.
Yeah. We didn't have that, but
it wasn't that far ahead of us. I mean, maybe 10 years older than us, they had it.
But we didn't get near as many shots as they're getting today. So, I got some friends on my timeline and social media that are well-versed.
And I think they're putting a bunch of them in together, too.
Yeah.
I think that, if I remember right, I think that there was options where you could do, 4 different shots, or they could put them all in at the same time. And, it's like, well, then why would you do 4 if you could do them at one at a time?
You get a 2
and then, I mean, I don't understand. It doesn't make sense.
I knew it was corrupt when I adopted this little boy, and he came from the system. And this little boy, they would pay us they wanted to pay us. We didn't do it. They wanted to pay us. They would send us advertisement to say, if you give this, we'll give you a cheeseburger and $100. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
a cheeseburger and $100.
I mean, it was just crazy. And you're like,
hey, I'm hungry, kid. The hell with you.
Get in the car, man. We'll go get us.
You want some McDonald's or not?
Call that doctor. See if they're giving away any shots this week. We need some money. Got to pay the electric bill. What? This is so crazy. And I knew that. And you could just feel it, man. I don't know. The world, the world calls it intuition, but in the Bible, it's called discernment. And you can pick up on it, man. The Spirit will tell you things. You can just kind of, you're aware. You're like, you can see through the baloney.
Yeah,
baloney's a nice word. You can see through it. You're like, I don't know about that.
Not at my house. We like thick bologna. You can't see through it.
That's right.
Fried up.
That's right. No, sir. No, sir. We're not playing by those rules. We see things here. We see things just like they are.
No, yeah, that whole thing is stressful. That is very, very stressful. That's because you just don't know what to do.
Yeah,
you don't.
It was really sad for the girl though. She was really young, just out of the system. Just man, your heart breaks. My heart broke. My daughter was in the children's ministry that morning when the little baby came in and heard the story, and so everyone, it was all they talked about for 2 days.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then to find out that the little baby died, and it was just heartbreaking. So Marlon does the funeral this Thursday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's tough.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it was a week.
Yeah, that's
what
not
about
something
you?
you want to deal with at all.
Yeah, you're working?
Working. My dad's. I'm in the middle of I got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm trying to get a few more bids out. And then my dad's broke a couple vertebrae. Well, he's 4 vertebrae in, and he's at the hospital. My stepmom, they've got her in so much medicine. I need them out of West Virginia. West Virginia feeds you drugs for no reason.
Yeah, that's why
it's horrible. Yeah. It's horrible.
Well, that's the whole medical industry. It's corrupt.
I think West Virginia is worse than anybody.
I mean, it's bad.
I'll tell you why I say that. One is when she came for my brother's funeral back in 2022, she come in. You stopped and seen me that day. Mm-hmm. When we were out there, we come in. She's literally an invalid, just an invalid, basically an invalid at that point.
Just like zombie.
Can't function, falls out. Like, just, it's bad. It's horrible. She only weighs like 89 pounds, something like that. It's bad. It's real bad. And when my dad decided he had to have, well, he didn't decide, the doctors did, but he had a blockage in his heart. He was going to have heart surgery. And he kept going into the appointments, and then he'll leave because he's nervous about her at home by herself. You know, and they live out in the cut. Like, it's deep. Like, it's God's country. No question, that's God's country. They don't even have cell phones to call you. You could pray. That's about it. You know what I mean?
Heaven.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's nice when you're young, but when you're old, nobody can get to you. It's not so nice. But so I decide, okay, I'll go down there and sit with her, stay with her until Dad goes, and gets all his stuff done. And I go with him to his pre-appointment. And then I go with them to his actual appointment, and I'm asking him about Mary. What's wrong with Mary? Mm-hmm. And he's, I don't know. I go, what do you mean you don't know? He goes, well, she had leukemia, but that's in remission. He said, but yeah, I don't know. And I'm like, then why is she taking so many pills? He goes, I don't know. I go, well, I'd be damned if I'd let him keep giving her pills, Dad. What the hell? If there's nothing, they've got no diagnosis. They're just giving her pills. And I guess what happened, my dad had lung cancer, and she had doctor's appointments she had to go to, and he couldn't do it because he was going through chemo and all that stuff. And they came out and suggested that they put her on hospice. That way they would do the doctor's appointments at home. Makes sense. Okay, let's do it just for doctor's appointments at home. Well, as soon as they did it, there was no doctor's appointments at home. They would just call in prescriptions. That's it. That's all they did. And it was mass amounts, like 3 different.
Just a slow drip to death.
Oh my God, it was horrible.
Yeah.
And I was annoyed, and I said something to my dad, probably out of line, but I'm like, what's the matter with you? You never were this person. You wouldn't allow this to happen to your wife. What's the matter with you? Well, then I come home before his surgery. And I guess they had to call an ambulance because she was like, I don't know, maybe nodded out, or I don't know what happened, but they called an ambulance for her. And they take her in the ambulance, and they call my dad at like 3 a.m. to come get her from the hospital. And he's like, you just left 2 hours ago. And he's like, I can't drive at night. That's too late. These country roads, it's just, I can't do it. He goes, I have to come in the morning. Well, an hour later, the ambulance pulled back up with her.
Wow.
With her, with no clothes on, and just brought her in and put her on the couch. So my dad lost his shit, threw hospice out, all this stuff. So by the time I come down for, his actual surgery, he had taken all her pain pills from her. He gave her like 1 a day or 2 a day, something. The rest were gone, just so that she didn't go into detox, or, you know what I'm saying? And then he got her off completely off of them.
That's good.
So while I was down there for that 10 days when my dad had surgery and all that stuff, she went up to 106 pounds. She was eating 3-4 times a day. I had her driving a car. She was fine. There was nothing wrong with her.
Nice.
Now she's back on the pills again. I don't know what's going on. But they just feed them to you. And I know a kid that was a drug dealer at one time, and he told me that's where they got their pain pills. He said they would go down to Parkersburg and meet somebody at a hotel, and they would just have thousands of pain pills for them.
Yeah.
Because they're prescribing them.
The pharmaceutical company is, they're dealers. They're dealers.
Oh, there's no question.
They're the biggest dealers in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not being healed. You're being addicted, and
And then they bring them down here to Lorraine and ruin Lorraine.
It's one big system. It's
Horrible.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
One big system. If you pay attention, if you allow yourself to come out of the matrix, you can kind of see it as you drive, and you're like, oh look, a Taco Bell. Oh look, a Denny's. Oh look, a medical facility. It's just they groom you. They treat you like a consumer your whole life, and then they build these mega structures to reap the benefits of the massive insurance that they charge you.
When I was an apprentice, we were building that nursing home in Oberlin, that one that's out there.
Yeah.
What the heck is the name of that place? Ray Carry-On was out there working. But we were laughing because they literally have a nurse. They have assisted living, nursing home,
funeral home,
a hospital, and a graveyard.
Yeah, this is it.
They're all right there.
They're
like profiting, like they are making it as efficient as they can.
Yeah, it's like boardwalk. It's just like Monopoly. You just roll the dice. Oh man, I'm going to the hospital. You know what I mean? I guess you're never gonna catch me in a hospital unless something's broke out of joint or.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
There's no way I'm going to the hospital to, ask them, what's wrong with me? No, they'll find something wrong with you.
They will.
And they'll give you a pill for it, and then they'll give you a slow drip to death.
When I was like 38, my ex-wife, when I was with her, she talked me into going to the doctor. 37.
For what?
Just to get a checkup. You need to get a checkup. You're 37. You've never had one.
Oh, no.
You have to go
What'd
get
they find?
One. High cholesterol.
Oh, man. I told you to quit eating steaks and...
But he wanted to give me medicine right away. Here, I'm 37 years old. He's trying to give me medicine. I go, I'm not taking no medicine. I said, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
And he told me diet, and he told me this. So I actually started running at that point. I would run every day, 5 miles a day. And I did that for like 2 years straight. Mm-hmm. And my mom brings up after I get down 30 pounds and I'm looking lean and everything, my mom goes, well, yeah, but you went to the doctors after I brought you that big-ass bowl potato salad. And I ate it all because that's mom's potato salad.
That's good.
so I'm sure that's why my cholesterol was high that weekend.
You're blaming your cholesterol on mom's potato salad. Well,
there's no question.
They don't make potato salad the way they used to when we were kids.
Oh, my mom's
it's room temperature,
My mom was making it for us for the buffet for a while.
That's back when mayonnaise was mayonnaise. We don't even know what it is today. It's like petroleum juice and,
Isn't it egg white still? Doesn't it still come from
read the back of a mayonnaise jar, bro. It's not what it is not mayonnaise anymore. It's something totally different.
On this weekend's podcast, when I did it with Guido, I played that for him, Bobby Kennedy, talking about trepazine or something.
Yeah, all of that.
Yellow dye.
Uh-huh.
Horrible. It's in everything.
It's in everything.
It's in your vitamin gummies, your cough medicine, everything that you're like, that it gets you sick. And then as you're trying to treat yourself, you're just adding it on.
Stick it in there too. Seed oils and everything. It's gross.
Oh, that's horrible.
Because we say that. We're like, I ate McDonald's. Like, I ate Doritos, but they're not the same. Like, it's not what it used to be.
I don't like McDonald's. When I eat McDonald's, I just feel like, I don't know what it is.
Well, it's chemicals now, but that's what, I don't believe it is the same McDonald's. I know Taco Bell's not the same. Come on, man. When we were kids, Taco Bell was delicious.
Bell. It's pretty delicious now. That Crunchwrap Supreme, bro.
It's still pretty good. I don't really go there.
They got that breakfast one now, the breakfast Crunchwrap with the jalapeno cheese sauce in it. Oh my goodness.
Man, I can't eat fast food. I have to eat. My wife keeps me so strict. But like if I was to eat what I wanted to eat, I'd be big as a house.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's I eat a lot constantly. The best thing though is those Crunchwraps. I love them. I can't get them.
I haven't.
And those Dorito tacos too. You don't like those?
I mean, who doesn't? But I can't eat it. I don't eat it because it's not real food, and I know it's not real food. It's all just
delicious.
It's delicious, but it's not good for you, man. It's just really bad for you. So
no, it is. It's horrible.
Terrible. It's not real food.
Yeah.
It's not real. I just stress that it's not real food.
I have a friend John that has a cabinet shop out in LaGrange. I think it's LaGrange, Grafton. I think it's LaGrange. He had cancer, and he went through all those treatments forever and all this stuff. And he's just a great guy. If you ever met him, you'd love him. He's a great guy, farmer, And he started looking for alternatives because they said nothing was going to work. So he started drinking some teas and some stuff like that, just looking for anything he could. And he beat it. He went into remission and all this stuff. And, it's sad because he's his own cabinet shop and he can't afford health insurance anymore. You know what I mean? Because of the cost of health insurance. And it's like, this is a guy who's had cancer. It could come back at any time. But he will not risk eating anything but his own cattle. He has his own cattle.
Yeah, I believe,
he raises his own cattle.
I have really strong ideas about that. I think your pH balance in your body has a lot to do with cancer. And
they've proven that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've proven that for sure.
I mean, you don't know what you read these days, but yeah, I think that I every day I try to neutralize my body. I'm alkaline. Stay.
Oh, really?
Stay at a certain pH level. Yeah.
And you check it?
Well, I can feel it. It's just weird. I don't know how.
What do you mean, like acidy or something?
I can feel when I'm acidic.
Really?
I can feel in my body when I'm acidic. Yeah.
Huh.
I can feel my blood pressure. It's just so weird. So it feels like I'm more in tune with it the older I get too, which maybe it's paranoia. I don't know. But it's not like
the worst thing about me is I've never been able to notice anything on my
body. No.
And I still to this day.
You just sat here just wow.
Yeah. I mean, if it hurts, if something hurts, I know that. But
well, you said you had pain.
My elbows and stuff. Yeah, but since I won't drink anymore, and then it goes away. It's gone. And that's acid, though. That is what that is. That's uric acid in your body.
Yeah.
That causes inflammatory
inflammation,
which is.
Yeah, every once in a while my
gout.
feet will act crazy. Yeah, give that gout stuff. It'll take crazy. It'll just all of a sudden my toe will hurt to the point where I can't wear a shoe.
That's gout. Yeah.
It's weird. You know?
That's uric acid.
It's so nuts. And then I'll stabilize my acidic levels. It goes away.
How do you stabilize it?
I don't. Can I say that? I don't want people to do things I do, and like I just take baking soda and
drink it
and water, and I put it in water and I drink it immediately.
Really?
You ever have heartburn? Do that.
I always just have Tums.
Nope. I'm telling you. Baking soda, put it in water, drink it.
Really?
I drink it every day.
Oh, okay.
Every day I drink it.
That's probably a good idea.
I can feel it.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Huh?
If you're a doctor out there and you're watching,
let us know.
Though? I mean, it tastes like it smells. Like whatever it is. It's
I mean,
weird.
I've brushed my teeth with baking soda, so I know what it tastes like.
So yeah, like it's that weird I can smell taste kind of deal. It's that, but you're drinking it. Yeah. But it's immediate relief. Immediate.
They say cherry juice does that too.
I've never had cherry juice. I've heard people say that about cherry.
And that's what I've got at home now.
We're old. That. We're sitting here having conversation. So old, right?
That's where we're at.
Bunch of G's sitting around talking about it.
That's how OGs roll.
Tucker Thompson out here talking about baking soda. Get some baking soda.
That's how it rolls.
How are we gonna fix the city, Jim?
Of Lorain?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I think that I think one of the biggest things that would happen would be huge for the city of Lorain is to wipe out that mill.
You say to get rid of it?
I think so. I think wipe it out.
You say start just
level it.
Just level it.
Level it.
You think if Trump gets in, it's coming back?
The mill? Not in Lorain.
No?
Not unless you want to spend a lot of money. Lorain, it's destroyed.
I thought a company in Japan bought that, by the way.
They did, but they were trying to reopen it. And I have a friend that actually docks at my marina with me. And he was one of the main runners there, like a maintenance guy and stuff that repaired all the equipment and stuff. And they had him over there trying to get, and he can't get any parts for any of this old equipment. Everything's automated or computerized now. Yeah. Trying to find valves and levers and stuff that are doing the same things.
I'm with it. I think if you're not gonna turn it on, then get rid of it because it's sitting on some of the most valuable real estate we have in the city.
The buildings are horrible. Did you see the drone flyover that Lorain did?
I haven't, no. But I used to go back there when I worked for the city. We'd go back there and get that iron ore slag.
Yeah.
For jobs they were doing in the city. And man, it was otherworldly back there. It was like driving on the moon. It was insane. Yeah. I was like, what? And these people in green suits would come out, it was weird. I'm like, wow, this is wild.
Well, that's what they would wear over their clothes when they went to work there. My grandpa used to do that too.
It was crazy.
Had, jumpers that they put on over their clothes, and then they didn't ruin their clothes.
Yeah.
But it's the drone that they showed flying over it, half the roofs in there just collapsed in. Like there's water just pouring in. Like literally no roof left type. Like just completely just gone. Yeah. So and that was like at least 5 buildings I seen in that drone.
Man, you know what? I got this dude, man. I got my boy Money Mike. He'll come over there and scrap all that stuff for you.
The whole thing.
Money. I put one phone call into Money Mike. He'll be down there with a torch cutting it up, man. He'll be there
for the long haul.
Man, he'll be running that steel. I don't know where he takes all that
trucks
stuff.
with the freaking the fenders falling off and it's bungeed up.
Yeah, it's got like. Yeah, he's that guy. He's that guy.
I might know who he is.
You know Money Mike. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
He was coming out to Oberlin and taking our scrap when we put the hospital, when we put the entranceway there. Yeah. We cut off the old entranceway, the tube steel, and he was taking all of it out of it.
Oh, Money's my guy, man. If I call him, Money, I got some stuff over here. Come pick it up. Yeah, he loves kids, man. He's always giving the kids. Thank you, Money. Thank you, Money. But yeah, if it's called Money, he'll come tear that all down. Get rid of it. That way we can get access to the river
so
down there.
Much. Yeah, that's the thing. To get to that river, that's the key. You put in like a few marinas down there.
How come we know that, but the people running the city don't know
They know that. Ray
what are they
knows
doing?
That.
What are you doing?
Ray Carrion knows that. Ray Carrion had a conversation with me in here that he was actually in conversations trying at least, at the bare minimum, he was asking for just a road. Just give us one lane to get us to the river. You know, and then you could do whatever else you want. Just let us take 57 and continue it right to the river. That's what he was asking for.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's other roads that go down to the river, right? I mean, you got.
Not there. Not to that spot. No.
Well, not to that particular spot, but I mean, any.
It says 450 acres back there.
Bro, there's so much back there. If you get in a canoe, you can go back in there. Have you done that?
No, I've been on a jet ski back there a little bit now.
Yeah, you can go get in there.
Oh, it'll go all the way down.
Why are we not building houses on this?
It should be restaurants, condos, and marinas.
Yeah, it is a gold mine.
Yep.
And I can't for the life of me figure out why the people who run the city of Lorain don't do that.
Ray Carrion knows it. They want that property.
They got dune buggies going in over there.
But see,
what?
The problem is I don't know how you handle that, because once you get into the city, or if the city turns it over to you and it's say, okay, let's say
sell it.
They give it to you. I don't know how long it's going to take for you to be able to use that land.
What do you mean? They're using it right now?
Yeah, but I don't think, I think that the EPA is going to come in and say, okay, you'll have to dig out X amount. I mean, not to say you can't. You can dig it out and put it back in.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a possibility.
Well, then somebody should work with the EPA, the federal government, state government, and figure the problem out rather than just letting it sit there. And then also let's pat on the back the genius, the engineers that were geniuses that ran the railroad right alongside the lakefront in Lake Erie in Lorain. That's brilliant. But then when you get the Oberlin or you get the Vermilion, it comes off. I
don't know what that's about.
What in the
I
world?
don't know. I've always complained about that. Guido's uncle's got a piece of property over there that's right at I want to say it's like maybe Kobe in West Erie, but it's like you can't really get to it because the railroad tracks are right there.
Isn't that where Hole in the Wall was?
No, Hole in the Wall is more like by the Ford plant.
Yeah, it was like
that's
a little.
Up past.
Why was it called Hole in the Wall?
Because when we would go there, you would go. It was a hole in the wall. It was all trees along the railroad tracks, and then you would just park right there in front of the tracks, and then you just kind of go through a hole in the wall.
Through the
basically.
hole. Okay.
You know what I mean? It's like just a little hole in the wall.
I was looking for the wall.
Like it's a wall, and then there's a little hole to get in there. Right.
In a hole. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really there was no access to it, except on the water there's access to it.
Right.
But that beach sucks anyways. There's no sand or nothing. It's all rocks. Like when you go walk out on it, your feet get cut up and stuff because rocks are hard. Well, I only know because we docked the boat there a couple times. I went to go wash the bottom, and it's just too harsh. You go out to Huron, it's all sand bottom. It's nice,
Yeah.
It's a lot more enjoyable.
So I think that's what you got to do to the city. You got to open up the waterfronts, and then there was another, engineer that was brilliant, and he put the sewer right at the mouth of the river there. That was brilliant.
Well, that was the thing back in the day. That's
awesome.
all you did.
Way to go.
That's how you did it. I mean,
stick it right on the river.
69. Remember the Cuyahoga River caught on fire in Cleveland?
Yeah, I remember that.
But that's because they would just dump everything right in the river. Everything.
So they were.
That's what was convenient about the river. It was your way of getting rid of stuff.
Just getting rid of dump everything in the river.
Everything. Just dump everything. Motor oil, whatever. Just squeegee it right into the river.
No, you got to put that in your backyard in a hole. You don't put that in the river. You let the earth deal with that.
Well, I remember being a kid in Pennsylvania at my grandmother's house, and they would have this truck that would come down. It was a gravel road in front of it, and it would spray used motor oil on the gravel to keep the dust down.
Yeah, chip and seal, yeah.
No, just to keep the dust down.
But that was a hillbilly chip and seal.
I guess they did that all over the country, I heard.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, they don't do it now. They would never do it now.
No, because we think we're doing something, but...
Yeah, I mean, oil comes from the earth, so I don't know why we can't.
I don't know why we can't pour it back.
And it does catch the river on fire, though.
Well, yeah, you don't pour it in the river. You just got to have a filtration system. Dig a hole in the backyard.
I seen that 69 fire was like, it was not even a big fire. The ones that you see on Time magazine and stuff was like from 10 years earlier.
Really? Yeah,
They said that those rivers were catching on fire everywhere. New York, Detroit,
just because everybody was dumping.
It just happened to be Cleveland was the one that caught the news story because it was hippie era and all that stuff.
Cleveland.
You know what I mean? But they said that was every river was catching on fire all the time.
Yeah.
It was the sparks from the trains coming over the river.
Yeah, I feel like Lorraine, I tell this story a lot. I tell this particular story when I try to articulate people's value. And there's a story I heard, it was a long time ago, but it's about this estate sale that happened in Jersey. And during this estate sale, these art aficionados, these people who knew the value of art, whenever there would be an estate sale, these people who assessed art would come in and they would search the homes for any valuable art. And so around that time, they were looking for a Rembrandt, the original Rembrandt that he painted when he was 17. It was rumored that he had painted, so everyone was on the search for this original Rembrandt that he painted when he was 17. And so they walk into this home in Jersey, this estate in Jersey, and they go through the home, and they go down in the basement, and they find what appears to be the Rembrandt that was painted. And after further examination, they noticed that the frame was out of the era. It was a Victorian frame, which put it out of the era, so it couldn't have been a Rembrandt. They let it sit. They said, it's a phony. It's not real, and they passed it up. And then a couple weeks later, another group of people came through, saw the same painting, but then scratched off the paint on the Victorian paint and discovered that it was, in fact, the original Rembrandt, and it was worth millions. Just some ridiculous number, worth millions. And I feel like Lorraine is like the original Rembrandt. And somebody shoved it in the basement and has framed it incorrectly. And it just needs to be brought out of the basement and reframed. And
but you know what? Part of the problem lies on us.
Could be worth something.
Part of the problem lies on me and you because we moved out.
I agree.
We could have stuck around and been better people. We could have been two families that was in that city that would have been.
I tell you when I lived. You want to know the story why I left? I tell you why I left. I woke up one morning. I lived in Lorraine on 12th Street, and I woke up one morning, and I noticed a shopping cart tracks through the snow in my front yard, and I went outside and I looked. And there was, sitting at my daughter's window, were cigarette butts in a shopping cart. Ugh. And then a couple weeks later, I caught that guy walking through my front yard. And it was at that point, I'm like, I have to go or I'm going to kill somebody. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking at my infant daughter and you're smoking cigarettes outside her window while I'm sleeping. What? Yeah, that's what made me leave. That's what made me leave.
I wonder when was that?
It had to have been 2001.
Because there was that kid that was from Lorraine that was doing the weird shit to the babies, remember?
Yeah, I don't remember, but man.
He had that car they were looking for, that Contour with the green fender. It was a tan one with a green fender. You don't remember that?
I don't remember. But I chased that guy down the road that night. I chased him. He took off.
We had a guy that used
Cops came.
to go when we lived on 5th Street. We lived on the corner of 5th and Oberlin Avenue. That big Victorian house
I know
right
what
there.
you're talking about.
That house right there, we lived in there. We had an apartment in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was, you know, me and my mom. And there was a guy that was masturbating outside of her window. And she's literally on the phone with the police and he won't stop. He's just like, you know, she's on the phone. He could hear her too because the window's cracked. Saying it, I've got this guy, you know.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's why I left. You know, so.
Yeah, that's a good reason.
Yeah, it is, right? I thought it was a valid reason.
But I mean, that is the problem. Though.
But I
think
back
that is
now.
part of the problem. Is like a lot of good people leave without trying, and I don't blame them because you don't want. It's too hard when you have a family and you have all those issues to deal with and things like that.
There's some problems.
Yeah,
right?
there's
some
a lot of
We got to
problems.
fix the school systems. You know, like you can't keep doing what you're doing to these kids. You know, like you got to value kids more than you are right now.
And you can't be putting these like homeless shelters and stuff down. Like, I mean, I would guess 90% of the trouble you have is probably from them. I remember when I worked at Subway when I was a kid, that apartment building that was behind it on 42nd Street, when I was at 42nd Street Subway, the apartments that were behind there, Nord Center started putting people in there, you know? And we had
poured all the concrete over there.
Did you?
Yeah, all those pads, yeah.
Well, they were putting, Nord Center was putting people in there. And I mean, I know they do need somewhere to live, but they would go scrounging through people's cars for change.
Nord Center is, yeah.
They were, I mean, I'll never forget, I had a guy come in, he had a dinosaur about this tall.
Really?
Stuffed dinosaur.
Oh.
Right?
You
Stuffed
had a
dinosaur.
dinosaur, bro?
No, he did. He was a stuffed dinosaur. And he's sitting there.
No way.
And he just got a pop, you know, no big deal. And I'm in the back, and he's out there an awful long time. And then I come out, and I'm checking on him, make sure he's okay. I see there's stuff all over the floor. What the hell is that? You know, I couldn't figure out what it was. So then I go in the back, and I'm watching. He's popping the eyeball out of the dinosaur and pouring the fountain pop down into the dinosaur. So the dinosaur's just dripping pop all over the inside of the restaurant.
That's awesome. What did you do? You're like, hey, man.
I'm like, dude, you can't do that.
You and T-Rex got to go. You can't there. You
I
and
just said
Barney.
you can't do that. And he goes, all right. He just left.
All right.
I don't know if he was going to go home and like ring it out. I don't know what his plan was.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't, you know, you can't think crazy. I can't, you know, I mean, I can, but I can't figure out what crazy's thinking.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so I mean, they started doing that, and I think that's what happened to that Hardee's too. I think they were having a lot of problems at that one with the same thing. If I remember newspaper articles and stuff, you can't do that. You can't just like put these people like.
Yeah, you can't expect families to stay there.
No, not if you're going to put them in there. I mean, you can put them over there, but you can't be controlled. They can't like be roaming free and terrorize me. It's like there's a kid or a guy that broke in here. Did you ever hear about that?
Mm-mm.
Oh yeah, there's a homeless guy. Well, when I used to be closed on Sundays, he was going out on the patio and that was like his apartment for the day.
That's nice.
He's just hanging out there and like
Did you watch him?
moving pop around. I mean, he's just doing weird shit. He's just walking around doing weird stuff, just for no reason. Like
just living here.
yeah, just doing his thing. He wasn't really hurting anything per se, but he shouldn't be back there. And he was just doing random weird stuff, you know? So then I never thought much of it. You know, I called the cops, get him out of there, that type of stuff, but I didn't think much of it. Well, then we had the guy took a screwdriver this long, pries that glass door open on the patio and comes in and he's trying to pry open the cash register. And then I find out from the cops that he's done it to Marco's. He's done it to like 4 different restaurants on the street or buildings on the street. Something he commonly does. I mean, why not? You do that, go to jail, they let you right out. And it's no big deal.
There you have it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's, I don't know. That's something that can't be, you know. And I know he's a part of Nord Center too.
Sure.
I mean, and I'm not trying to blame Nord Center, but there's got to be a better system for this stuff. You can't like freaking just put these people out here and leave them homeless and let them harass businesses. And
No,
stuff.
not if you want. And here, more importantly, the leadership of the city has to have a better vision than that, and they have to be involved in that, and they can't allow it. And if the leadership of your community isn't running any interference there, then eventually business owners, tax-paying citizens are going to vacate your city, and you're going to be left with whatever it is you're left with. And so my appeal to the city of Lorraine, and I'm in because I pastor a congregation in the city of Lorraine, so I'm invested, and I want to pastor the city. I want to give the city vision, and so like you said, I feel responsible. So I'm going to do my very best to help provide a greater vision to get Lorraine out of the basement. I believe Lorraine is a Rembrandt that deserves to be pulled out of the basement.
It has everything.
It has everything you need.
Everything.
It just needs, it's like, and I talked to my staff this morning. I said, look, we can't normalize broken. If you come in your shop and the door's broken and it's been broken and everybody knows it's broken, after a while it's just broken. It's like the house you go into and they don't know their house stinks like the animals they keep. You know what I mean? But when you come in, you're like, man, your house is funky. You know what I mean? Right. Like it's that. You've normalized this. And I think that in the city of Lorraine, dysfunction has been normalized, poverty's been normalized. A lot of stuff has just been allowed to just be normalized. And it needs a greater visionary. It needs a mayor that's going to come to the table with great vision, great foresight to look in front of the city and say, I'm going to go find you some tenants for the Ford Motor Company. I'm going to go find a way to get funding for the river. I'm going to find a way to get the railroad tracks off of the lakefront. I'm going to do my best to clear out any land that's near, just provide a vision. And if you provide a vision and you make it very clear, all you have to do is promote it. Just consistently promote it. And eventually, it'll turn around. But you can't normalize broken. You can't normalize that one, where the projects are over there where Monopolies or something used to be. Where
the Westgate Shopping Center.
Westgate Shopping Center's been, I'm like, just tear it down. Just tear it down, man. Plant grass. Because it's hard for people to see a building and envision something magnificent. But if you just plant grass, it's easier for people to go, I can see something going there.
Yeah.
But not as long as there's a building that's just basically falling down. I think they're doing something now to it. I don't know what they're doing to it. Probably a medical facility, or a Dollar General.
Yeah, Dollar General.
Or a car wash.
That's what happened. Like when we hit that mark, in 2008, I went from building office spaces and things like that. We went to dollar stores, Big Lots, and Family Dollars. They were building them everywhere.
Man.
And that was, I guess that's the beauty of what I do commercial. It's something always. Even now, all the companies that went to working from home, we ended up doing a lot of office spaces where they were downsizing, so they were going into smaller spaces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we ended up getting a lot of that type of stuff.
Yeah. So, you remember Avon. Avon was nothing but farm fields, right?
Yeah.
That's it. And the Avon Oaks Country Club. That's it. Mm-hmm. But somebody had a vision, and somebody said...
But it wasn't damaged yet. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But when I look at Lorraine,
it wasn't
framed. Cleveland. Yeah. If you remember in the 90s, what a piece of shit. You didn't want to go in there. You couldn't go to a ball game without a homeless guy bothering you. When you would come right into the East Ninth, it was all tents. Remember, they had Tent City there.
Yeah, man. That was the flats.
First thing they did was get rid of Tent City. The very first thing they did was to get rid of those people in the tents that are at your gateway of coming into the city.
You got to give dreamers somewhere.
Yeah,
somewhere to play.
And now they've got. It's unreal. That the housing. I read an article that said that the housing in 2007, I think I want to say it was. I think there was 12,000 units total, or maybe it was 2,500 units, and now it's over 60,000.
Yeah,
units, residential units in downtown now.
It's really cool in there too. I went to one of the Cavs players, George Hill. I met him a while back. He took me up to his condo up there, up on like the 13th floor or something. It's really cool.
Yeah, we built a couple of them. We built a couple of them, and they were nice. They were very nice.
Real nice. Sits over the river. I mean, Lorraine could do that. But it's got to have a visionary. It's got to have somebody that's pushing.
You got to have somebody that
vision.
wants to push the money in too. I mean, you got to have people that want to invest. You have to have. But
none of it happens without
I think that
vision.
it can happen. I think that if you get the right vision, I think that I even personally know enough people that would want to invest.
I'd go down there and buy something if the vision was right.
Yeah.
If I could see you chasing vision, but as long as you just keep normalizing broken, like I can't see myself doing none of that, and I can't see myself living here. Like I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna swing as hard as I can for the fences for you, but I can't fix your broken mentality. Poverty when you see it. Poverty's not in your pocket. Poverty's in your mind. And for a lot of people running things up there,
I'm pretty broke. I don't know,
bro. Poverty, you know as well as I do.
I know poverty, and it ain't in my mind.
Well, it is. Because you don't have to have money to be rich.
No, that's true.
But you have to have.
Isn't
you
that
have
the
to have
theme
a
of
rich?
It's a Wonderful Life.
You have to have a rich mind, like to be rich.
Yeah.
You can't have a poverty mind. You just cannot see things broken and be like, that's what I want. That's good. It's good enough.
Yeah, Lorraine has. I don't. It seems like it's been that way most of my life. But I do remember being a kid and I loved it. Mm-hmm. Like I remember being like probably like 10, 9, and going to like Lakeview Park, and it was like something from a vacation resort to me.
It used to be.
It was
when
amazing.
When we were young. Then it got real grimy.
Oh yeah.
But back in the day, had that big concrete thing in there. It was cool. It was like ice cream out. And
it was cool. Just there was people everywhere.
It's nice
loaded.
now, but
you don't have the people down there. You don't have the enjoyment down there. Although you don't have the bullshit from the 90s. The 90s was like in the 90s when you would go down there, it was just punk kids and like just trouble. There was no reason to go down there.
So we were there.
Probably.
We're for sure. Yeah, I remember cruising through every night.
But I'm talking about stop there. Like there was a lot of fights went on there.
Always.
And there was no reason for that. I mean
that in Skate World.
Yeah, Skate World was. Yeah. I don't remember a lot of fights at Skate World, but I definitely was a few.
I remember Louis Palos getting into a fight at Skate World with
I would fight with Louis. He's so nice.
I know, Louis is so nice. You know what? He got into a fight because this guy left his lights on, and Louis saw it. So he reached inside the car and turned the guy's lights off, and he came out. I think it was Brooke. I think it was I forget the guy's name. His first name was Brooke, and he came out and he seen Louis reach in his car, and then he squared up with Louis, and Louis is no punk, So they just started swapping punches. And that was Skate World.
Yeah, that was Skate World.
Yeah. But Skate World still looks the same. It still looks the same as it did when I was a kid.
There's a lot of people go there though now.
I know, but I'm like, come on,
man.
But
they have like these.
It's been 30 years
that go. They do. I know. I have a picture of me in Skate World like years ago, like my Argyle sweater and shit.
Yeah, like a tail.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. And I got this picture, and I'm looking at it, and then I was in Skate World. Probably it's been a while now, probably 15 years, but.
We taking Joshua kids.
It looked exactly the same. Like I mean, you could take that picture and set it right
there.
Same
shoes, bro. Same shoes.
Same shoes. You mean skates? The same skates?
Yeah, same skates. That's it, man. I got sweat in. Like, go find a 10.5.
Sweat
same there. It's still there.
Some of your dad's sweat still in the
For
skate?
sure, bro. Yeah, that's generational. Man, there's an experiment going on at the place.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, we got to help the city.
But I mean, skating, and that's just not that big of a thing anymore. I mean, what do you do? Like now, what's the big thing now? Pickleball's the new thing, right?
Man.
Pickleball is the new thing. I mean, they could do that at Oakwood Park.
They could do that anywhere. Mm-hmm. But do it.
Yeah.
And then provide a safe environment for people to do it, for families to do it.
Yeah, like Oakwood Park was having shootings going on there.
Yeah. You can't have. Look, can't raise my kids where there's violence.
No, not like that.
Not like that.
No,
I mean, there's violence everywhere.
We had violence when we were
kids.
Yes,
there's violence everywhere.
We fought.
It can't be this normalized. Like I called the police one time, and they're like, "Yeah, there was somebody who dropped a bag of weed at the church in Lorraine." Look at me. They dropped a bag of weed in the children's ministry of the church, a big sack. Right. I walked in and I could smell it, and I'm like, Becca, what's that smell? You know? She was like, I don't know. This family just left. And I'm like, no, what is that? And then so we looked around and couldn't find it. And eventually my wife found it. And she's walking around. She's walking around with this bag, and everywhere she goes, you can smell it. Like, no, I'm like, now it's in here, but she's like, I found this, you know, and she's so innocent. And so I called the police and I say, hey, what do you come get this? And they're like, we don't want it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you want me to do with it?
Give it to Vern.
The police. They were like, smoke
Vern
it. You know?
wanted it.
Smoke it. And I'm like, what do you want me to do with it? It was like, get rid of it. I'm like, they dropped us in my kids' church area where I have kids.
Yeah. Well, they don't think of pot anymore like
no
that.
No big deal,
they
man.
They don't, not
and
anymore.
That's my point.
And that's such a gateway drug.
That's
People
my
don't
point,
realize.
man. You can't normalize that stuff and be like, no big deal. I got bigger fish to fry. No, man, we gotta set a bigger vision.
It's too late. Pot's normalized.
So you can smoke weed, but how about we don't smoke it while we drive?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Still illegal?
I agree with that.
But you and I both know, you go down the road, you're like, somebody is smoking.
I've never had an accident drinking and driving, but I smoked once.
And the snowflakes were as big as basketballs, right?
There wasn't no snow. I still wrecked. When I was like 19, I was borrowing my mom's car, and I wrecked the damn thing, and I was high.
Oh, man.
And I didn't even smoke at that point. I was like beyond that. I was 20. I was beyond smoking. I really didn't smoke. But the guy I worked for at the time offered to smoke it with me, and I was stupid. I just was like, okay. And then I drove home and wrecked my mom's car.
And there you go.
A little one.
And now it's normal.
Still.
Everybody's driving and smoking, man. I was on the highway the other day.
Well, you ride a bike, you know.
Oh, man, I look over.
All you smell.
I look over. I'm like, what in the world? We were going on the highway, and this car flew by us. I mean, I was going 70, and this car flew by. We were standing still and slammed in the back of these old people. I pull off the side of the road because, I'm like, oh, no. And I walk up to the car of the person that hit the old people, and it's facing the other way on I-90. And I get up to the car, and I open the door, and there's this young girl in there. And the car is smoke's rolling out, billowing out, smoke's billowing out of the car. Not from the engine, but from what she was smoking.
We call that Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, Cheech and, she was doing that, whatever you just said. She was doing that. So I walk in, and her leg is noticeably broken, and she's just trying to get out of the car. She's panicked now. She's just trying to get out of the car. She's like, oh, bro, I'm in trouble. Where's my phone? Help me get out of here. I'm like, you couldn't walk if you wanted to. Like your legs broke. But she's driving.
Well, when you're on the bike, you smell it. Every car, you smell it constantly when you're on your bike.
It at
it's
8
crazy.
in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm going to the office.
Yeah, I mean, I don't smell as much in my truck, but when I'm on the bike, I smell it all the time.
All the time, and you're like, who's smoking weed at 8 in the morning? Is your life that bad that you got to smoke weed at 8 in the morning?
I mean, it's here. We have to accept it, though. It's like alcohol. It's here.
We cannot let people smoke weed and drive.
I don't disagree.
We can't do that.
I don't disagree.
We can't.
I don't disagree.
It's where I'm like, okay, you can smoke it. Just
but the world has accepted that it is acceptable.
It's probably, I don't know.
And it sucks. I agree with you because
I'm not here to demonize weed.
I'm
just here to say let's stop normalizing smoking weed while we're driving vehicles. This 3,000
No, I hate it.
pound
I don't
missile.
like it at all. I never have. My mom smokes weed still to this day. She'll smoke, but and I remember my daughter when she was 18 or something like that, and me fighting with her, and she said, "I'll take a drug test anytime." Blah 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 blah. And it's like, I smell weed in your freaking car. I'm pissed because I can smell it. You know what I mean?
Like, duh. Yeah.
And she goes, the only thing I'll pass positive for is pot. I go, that's drugs. What? I mean, to me, that's drugs. I don't know what the hell you're talking about right now. This is drugs.
It's still drugs today, Jim. Like, I don't know. I know they passed the law, made it legal, but it's still.
It wasn't
drugs.
even legal then. But they had.
But it was an attitude towards it.
There was this.
It's no big deal.
Yeah, it was like all over. Not only was it no big deal, it was the best thing you could do. It's the greatest thing in the world. I was getting sick of hearing it. Like, it's not the best thing in the world. It's stunting your mind. Your mind's not working right.
It's not. And it opens up a lot, and it's what it's doing to another generation. So that argument is so infuriating me, because what I see is a bunch of parents who smoke weed who are raising children, and because their life revolves around this lifestyle of smoking weed, their children are growing up, and whatever you do an inch of, your children will do a mile of.
Oh yeah, it's no big deal. That's normal.
So we're ruining another generation because of our habits and because of what we normalize. And
I don't know if that's true though, because personally, my dad was a big drinker, and that's why I wouldn't be.
Well, you're the anomaly. You're not normal. You saw it. That there's one of two ways people go when they get into these things. It's either you resist it with everything in you, and you're like, I'm never doing that. I'm coming out of that. I'm going to break that cycle. That giant's going to die. Or you just get swept up into it, and you're like, everybody does it. It's normal.
Or isn't there that like your parents are lame? Doesn't that come into play at all?
My parents are lame. Your parents are lame? What do you mean?
Well, when you're
my
a teenager,
parents are not lame.
When you were 16, you thought they were. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I didn't even know my dad when I was.
But you know what I'm saying? When you're 16, you're like, they're lame. Like,
of
you
course,
know what I mean? So you're
course.
like, what they're doing
But
is
I still
lame.
need a parent to be a parent. That's why you need a parent to be a parent.
Yeah, no,
that was a lot of our conversation before, like last week. I'm like, no, if the parents don't develop and hold firm to a standard, you're what you do an inch of, your children will do a mile of.
Absolutely.
And
I agree.
They're just like, yeah, okay, it's okay. And we need parents to be parents today, and we need kids to know that they have parents that are parents,
Yeah, I mean, I think that everybody needs to be able to be told the truth, and they don't like it when you do, When they're like, I'm a girl, like you say, bullying,
A little bit.
You got to bully a little bit.
It's more like positive peer pressure, all right? If you don't want to call it bullying, I get it. But I come from an era that bullying had its place, and it checked you. It checked you from getting out of control, doing things. But it was a little more positive back then. Today, I guess.
I don't remember you getting bullied at school ever.
No, but I remember bullies.
It was Vern and Johnny.
I mean, I didn't have
Vern and Johnny.
I had an insurance policy, right?
Vern and John were bullies,
right? Yeah, like I had an insurance policy.
Could you imagine coming home at like 12 and telling Johnny that you were a cat?
Right. Vern would smack me across the room. My boy, get out of here. It's like, it just wouldn't work. And your friends would have jacked you up. Your friends would have made fun of you. You would have been made fun of. And today you don't have it. Today it's like, you get bullied the other way now. It's like, it's so reverse.
Yeah, you need to be open-minded.
There's no standard
of
normalcy. Everything is just,
I think we need more closed-minded people, honestly. I really do.
We need people that have conviction. Conviction.
Yeah, okay.
Deep conviction, principled people. I always say it, like if you don't determine your principles before your temptation comes, then your weakness will determine it for you. Like if you don't make up your mind what you say no to, you'll never say no to anything.
All right. Well, I got a challenge for both of us.
What's the challenge?
Sometime in the next month, we both do something positive for Lorraine somehow, some way.
I mean,
small, big, whatever, just something.
I'm down. I'm down. But like I said, I'm there every week.
I already got an idea what I want to do.
Yeah, what do you want to do?
I want to, at Oakwood Park, a lot of places you go, I don't see them a lot around here, but like I see them out in Willowick and I see them in Vermilion. They have those boxes where you're done with a book, you just put it in the box.
Okay.
I think I'd like to put a couple of those at Oakwood Park. I'd like to put one for books and one for canned goods, maybe. Or maybe if you're done with it, or you don't need it, use it. You just don't stick it in there. Somebody else comes along and they want it, they could take it. And I just have to build boxes to do that with.
I see you. Okay.
And I think at Oakwood Park, maybe do one at Oakwood and somewhere else. And I'm gonna put Madhouse on them. I'm not.
Definitely want my marketing.
It's going to be a write-off. I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's something I'd like to do. I think I'd like to do something, and I think Lorraine would be a good spot to do. I even see in Elyria, they have in downtown Elyria, they even have a book exchange.
I see them. Yeah, I see them.
But I never see them around here.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be a good idea.
Yeah. I don't know what I want to do yet. I'll figure something out. I want to do something big.
But it'd probably take me a month to get it done. But yeah, I want to do. Yeah, I can't do nothing big, but
I want to call Elon and see if he'll come over here and buy up the steel mill and use it for
do something huge.
Yeah, do something big. Yeah.
You know, it's not just a steel mill. When you look at that, because I was looking at it on a map.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we knew what we were going to talk about today or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of looking at different things, and I was looking on a map. And do you realize that there is so much land, basically from 28th Street? It goes almost, I mean,
yeah,
it goes for one straight to 611. That's all just land, forestry, whatever. But then there's huge open areas.
It's gorgeous down there.
That is, but I'm saying like there's huge areas that are like to the right of Root Road in that area.
Yeah.
That go, I mean, forever. There's just huge open fields there that it's not even being farmed or nothing. It's just trees and forest. And
I've hunted it back there.
Yeah. I mean, it's
when I was
so much
younger, I would sneak back in there and I would hunt deer and rabbits and stuff. That goes forever.
Oh, yeah. There's massive.
There's land back there for days, and I can't, even on that side. So let's just say you don't go to the other side, you know, but you come across tracks to the east side and you just utilize the east side. There's enough over there to do.
Oh, it's massive.
You could do it. And then I heard talks of like a couple of guys coming in with a go-kart or a racetrack of some sort. Did you hear this conversation?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I guess.
Like one of the electric go-kart places?
I don't think it's electric. I think it's like some like dirt track, racetrack situation. I could be wrong. I don't know. I heard it and I thought it was bizarre. I'm like, that's the plan for over there?
Yeah, it's just stupid.
On the east side. I'm like, no, come on. Let's build some condos down there. Come on. Like, I will sit on a panel or, you know, like, look, you need condos, you need restaurants, you need places for boats to come in and out of there.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
A reason for boats to come in.
And then once you do that.
Marinas is a huge, that marinas would be huge.
It would just be, it's nice. That one place down there down there where we built the condos across from the lake.
The Steel Yard?
Not the Steel Yard.
Or not Steel Yard, no, the Shipyard.
Yeah. But there's a restaurant down there. I go to eat down there. It's really nice.
Yeah.
But there's nothing else. That's it.
No,
that's it.
Nothing else.
So I just say keep doing that on that side, and you know, just get some investors.
Kind of extend it down. I mean, the shipyards would be part of that, but it needs like a couple like Buffett's or you know Jimmy Buckets or something right on the river.
Yeah,
where people can come up.
You
with
could buy some land. You could take your whole setup over there. You could dock your boat permanently right out of the back of your place.
Yeah, you could put a marina there.
Oh,
you mean I could do that?
You could do this there.
I could do this there?
Yeah.
You buying this? I'm down if somebody buys this.
Do you want I mean, just set it up. We got people that want this. And I'm not in the bar business. I'm in
that Jackalope is closed though.
Yeah, what happened to that? Why did that close?
Food costs are just high. They're really, really, really high. It's hard for.
I think we need to vote right then.
Yeah, I mean that's to some degree. Yeah, voting helps. I mean, it isn't going to help now that they're freaking closing all the ports down all the way across the coast, you know.
The world's on fire right now, and everybody's just pretending like it's not.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, it's not looking good.
Israel's under fire. Iran is just, we got Russia and China off the coast of Alaska. We got North Carolina, Tennessee, mudslides, near 1,000 people, they're saying, they're projecting.
Are you seeing like all those, like where that water flooded, like how much like muck is there?
It's a mudslide, just ran over people's houses and swept them away forever.
It's wild.
They'll be digging people out of the dirt forever. Like it's just
yeah. I mean, it's not as bad as Katrina was.
I don't know. It looks really bad.
But it's bad and it's widespread.
It's like whole valleys just.
Yeah, but there's areas like close by that didn't get hurt. Where Katrina, everything got damaged. That was
because then I looked at my daughter's getting married soon. That's a whole terrifying thing to think about. But
do you like him?
Yeah, Joe's a good dude. but we're getting ready to send her down.
How many boyfriends has she had that you didn't like? That's the question.
He was the only one.
Oh, okay.
He was the only one.
All right, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, Alexa had a few that I was just like, oh God, what am I going to? I can't talk to this kid. I'll have nothing in common with them.
I mean, for the longest time, I'm like, I didn't even learn his name. I intentionally,
and stuff.
Like I never even knew. And they'd be like, Joe's coming over. I'm like, who's Joe? You know what I mean? Like, I just learned his name a year ago.
You ever seen that skit with Terry Bradshaw on when he was on Family Feud?
No.
Oh, it's one of the funniest skits.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a skit. He's on Family Feud, and he's got his whole family's there or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he's
I
asking
think I
him
did
who the
see that.
wife is or whoever, and then he goes, and then there's so-and-so, he ain't in the circle yet, or whatever.
He's not allowed in yet. That's a
He
smart
made
man.
him ride and coach or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I like him. He's a great. He's real principled. He's just quiet, thoughtful, pensive, firm.
That's good.
So,
yeah, I got lucky with my kids. They're good with. I'm good with everybody they're with so far.
Yeah, so far.
So far, yeah, so far.
We know a place in West Virginia. So hey, be careful.
See him in Big Run.
So, yeah, I forget what I was saying, but anyhow.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing. I think that we make one this month, one gesture for, and I think that's what I want to do. I think that's what my little thing
I got this thing coming up. It's called Trip to Hell. I do.
Trip to Hell.
It's called Trip to Hell.
That's not what you're supposed to be. You're a pastor, dude. You're screwing this up.
I'm giving people a real life depictions of hell on earth, but hope in the midst of the hell. And so all these different scenarios, a bunch of young people are going to portray it. I'm doing it on the property over there in Lorraine off of Levitt. And I'll do a 2-night drama presentation from 6:30 till the morning hours.
Okay.
And they'll just go through scene to scene to scene, and in the end, they'll have an opportunity to give their life to Jesus. But the whole scenes are real life depictions that kids are challenged with today: drug abuse, addiction, identity crisis, school shootings, drinking, driving, abortions, suicide, and then But in the midst of all of these scenes, there's this moment where you realize that Jesus is present with you in all of it, and that if you just reach out, So I'm gonna do that at the end of October, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give away a ton of tickets. I'm just gonna give a bunch of them away. So I'll figure out. But that's what I'm gonna do.
Is it like a Halloween thing?
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
Okay.
Like we kind of capitalize on that idea.
But with the religious.
But it's with a positive message that says, if you're dealing with, depression or you're overwhelmed in life, there's hope. There's hope. And so it's a powerful moment at the end, So you have to come through. But I'm gonna give away a ton of those. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm having a clam bake this weekend.
I know. I saw that. I was like, man, I'm gonna come through and
really
pick up
good,
some.
Dude.
Yeah, I love clam bakes.
They're really good. I mean, Joe Bennett. I mean, these are New England clams, too big. He cleans them good, no grit in them. I mean, and that chicken, the half chicken's phenomenal.
Yeah, I'm gonna come through, pick one up. Yeah. Is that on Sunday, right?
It's on Sunday at 1:00 during the game.
Man,
it's during the game, 1 to 5 or whatever. It's
I'm
during
busy.
the game.
I'm gonna have to send somebody through, pick up something for me.
Yeah,
because
we can do that.
From 8 to 4, I'm gone.
I can get you tickets now while you're here, and then you could just. And that basket I gave to someone else.
Did you? Gave it away. I was going to get it today.
Well, I actually gave it to
Good.
Lisa. Is going through cancer right now. She worked here a while ago, and so did her daughter.
Yeah.
And her daughter reached out and wanted to get something for them to raffle off at it. They're going to do it Saturday.
Good.
They're going to do an event Saturday.
I didn't need it, but I was just.
So they're going to raffle it off for Lisa Davis's, benefit. But so I added some stuff to it. I added a bottle and a wine, and then sent it out. I didn't send a wine in a bottle.
Does she have like a? Does she have like a like? How can I give?
I will let you know. Okay. I will find out from Sarah whenever. I know she's supposed to see my wife. She was actually, it's weird enough, she was married to, me and her were married to brother and sister before, and we're both away from brother and sister, and then she was working. Okay. But she's a bus driver, and her mom's a bus driver in Westlake schools.
Okay.
And they were just doing it, in the summertime when there's not really worth. But Lisa's a wonderful person, but she's, going through cancer right now.
Sorry.
Sad enough, but that's where it went anyways. That's where your basket went.
It's all good, man. All I was trying to do was I'm just going to call my guys that don't run businesses, and I'm going to try to promote them. you know.
Yeah, hopefully I'll do better. I've just been so busy because I've got so much construction going on right now. And what, like you say about not finding people, I mean, I haven't had a bunch, so I'm having to do more.
Oh, man.
But I think I'm getting to a point, I think I'm going to have enough guys where I can just manage, which is where I need to be, because I got to be bidding and just going and doing the finer things that have to be done, or the fine-tuning things that have to be done. But I never completely don't work. I mean, I think at one time I had 15 carpenters, and I still would work.
You're still out there swinging a hammer.
I would. What would happen is I would be bidding a lot for, maybe like 6 months. I might bid forever, and then all of a sudden I got so much work, I got to catch up. So I go out in the field and I start catching up. Then all of a sudden I go, well, I'm going to run out of work soon. So I would go back. And start bidding.
When you go into work and you're working, are you like the jerk? Are you like a jerk boss? You're like, come on, everybody, work harder.
No, I lead by example. I'm a beast. I like to race.
Yeah, you're me.
I love to race.
Yeah, you're me. Yeah. I don't need you. I can do this all by myself.
I had this kid, Wade. We were doing they had converted the old Eagles Club to a church right there in Amherst. That right there at that split, that Y by the apartments. That Eagles Club. When they converted that, we did that work. And I went there to do the grid, and Wade thought he was a hot shot. He was doing his thing at the time. I mean, he was moving and grooving. He knew what he was doing. And I go in there to do grid with them the one day, and we got the big sanctuary wide open, you know what I mean? And we start running, and I'm tearing them up. I mean, I'm just chewing them up. And I mean, I got him. But, I mean, he sees me. He starts coming right behind me. He's trying. I wouldn't let him catch up, though. I would not let him catch up.
Yeah.
Dude, I was almost crippled the next day. I swear, my hands were like...
That's how I am. Like, I'll get in and start working. I'm just going to do it. Yeah. Put the pressure on them.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So when is this going to happen? This trip to hell?
Trip to hell is going to take place the last. I think it's October 26th, 27th. I think it's that.
October 26th.
I think it is, 27th. But you can go to the website and check it out. But I'll have better dates. I don't really do all that. There's people that do it, but
what's the age groups? Do you know that?
Oh man, it's for as young as you feel they're mature enough to deal with these things, and it's younger and younger every year. So. Kids are faced with these things every day, so it's no sense trying to keep it from them. If they're faced with it at school, bring them to Trip to Hell. I'm telling you, this production is impactful. It's compelling. It's just, it's gripping. My daughter plays the girl that has the abortion.
Really?
Oh, my goodness.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. There's a school shooting. There's a suicide scene. There's a party bully. A scene where there's a party and
did you play that one?
No. I was not a bully. You're saying that. I was not a bully.
I didn't say you were a bully, but you said bullying needs
to
come back.
There's bullying, yeah. But this is not good today, but it was better back in our day. It was more wholesome,
I didn't ever feel like bullying was a problem.
No, I didn't either. I just felt like...
I didn't know that there was a whole lot of it going on. Not that I remember. I don't know.
I mean, I remember being intimidated by certain groups of guys. But it wasn't like I was getting I was getting a wedgie or anything by anybody. But
no, but I'm older kids best with in South Lorraine, when I lived in South Lorraine, well, I was at my grandma's. I didn't live there, but I'd be at my grandma's. We'd go run around the creek by 36 or something.
Yeah.
There was some kids that were probably like 16 and I'm like 10 that are chasing you home like. And I'm sure they were just having their kicks. They weren't going to do nothing if they caught you. And they weren't going to catch me, I promise.
No, I was too fast for that.
I was like, hell no!
I talked junk and then I was really fast, so I just run. You couldn't catch me.
That's the only reason I had
I had so much security around me, though. I had the Hartmans. I had Nikki, Carl, Tony, Vernon, Johnny.
One of them's kid lives back here.
Really?
Right behind this house that's back here. She... had a kid with one of, I think Nikki,
Is it Nikki? Yeah.
And then his son Brandon lives across the street.
Speaking of Nikki, man, I remember one time with Nikki, there was these kids being bullied in the woods over there back by Clearview. And I remember somebody going and getting Nikki. And Nikki came in And I thought, yeah, Nikki's gonna smack one of these boys around because he's a tough Hartman. All the Hartmans were you were terrified of him because Carl was absolutely crazy.
He was a nut.
Just absolutely.
Right.
I don't know where he is today, but Nicky came back and he just said, "Hey, man." He was so rational and lucid and composed. That stuck with me my whole life. I thought, I want to be that guy. I don't want to be the guy. I want to be the guy that walks in and says, "Hey, man, stop. If you beat him up, then he's going to go get his friends. He's going to beat you up." I remember him having this rational conversation. I was like, man, I want to be like Nicky. You know what I mean? I think Nicky was like, I don't want to be like the rest of my family, all crazy, beating people up my whole life. So let me be rational. I was like, man, I want to be like that. That's a better way to be. Good story.
Yeah, I never was in much, and I never liked fight. I mean, I'd get angry though. I mean, I would when I was a kid, and then I can't shut it off. But I mean,
there was a bunch of goofballs.
I try everything to avoid a fight. I've always been that
I
way.
did
I never
too.
was a big.
I hated it. I just wanted to go out and have
Even
fun.
if you win, you're gonna be
you're still
sore,
you're still gonna get bleed or something.
Yeah,
you might get stabbed. That was always.
I
remember getting shot at many times, man.
You got shot at?
I got shot at a lot. It's a miracle that I'm alive. I remember one time specifically. Yeah, I was at Johnny.
You must be older.
No, man. I was just in scenarios where I remember this guy smacking me in the back of the head with a semi-automatic pistol that looked like a very large 45 caliber. He was just his finger on the trigger smacking me. And because Johnny's yelling at him, and I'm picked up Johnny like, no, let's go. But he's smacking me in the back of the head. And I'm so surprised the gun didn't go off. Then there was a couple times where we were running around with little Dave and Louie and them, and crack, 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 gunfire goes off. Another time. Man, there were so many times.
Jeez.
It's a miracle that I'm sitting here in front of you.
I had guns go off
at
my house. They came in the house. I had bullets go through the bedroom upstairs. They come through the apartments. There's like creek and like woods or whatever, and then they must have shot. I don't know if they're shooting at a tree or what they're doing, but they come through and they hit the house. Twice it happened. Well, the second time it happened, the cop comes out and he's looking at it or whatever, and this asshole, like you say about it's commonplace. Nothing. They're doing nothing about it. For one, about the bullets, and then he's like, "If you want to get rid of that truck," because that was the golf balls. Those apartments, someone was hitting golf balls into my backyard.
Yeah.
I picked up like 18 golf balls in the backyard. I mean, Dylan plays back there. I can't have a golf ball just crack him in his head in his trampoline. You know what I'm saying? And I call the cops. They tell me there's nothing I could do about it. It's not illegal to hit golf balls at a house. He goes, if it breaks something, then you have the right to sue them for, damages or whatever.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. How is that not illegal? Like that has to be illegal.
Throw rocks at my kids.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be illegal. It has to be. But then the same guy, he said, because the one came across and was hit the roof of the house, right, and my Raptor was parked in the front. And he goes, well, if you get a dent in that one to sell it pretty cheap, let me know. That's what the cops said, do. I wanted to choke him. I wanted to choke him out.
You see?
I was so mad.
Why would you say that?
Mad.
Yeah.
I mean, boiling, That's like, I don't know, just not fixing a problem.
You should run for mayor of the city of Lorain, Jim.
You got to live in Lorain first.
You do?
I'm pretty sure. I thought that was always the case.
Yeah?
I think so.
I mean, I don't know.
I think you have to live in the city if you're going to be a mayor.
If you run for mayor, I'll consider. I'll consider.
Here's the problem. Yes, I would love.
Let's get Guido
I would love to do something like that. The problem is, do I know how to make the things happen that need to happen?
Of course you do.
I don't think I do.
What do you mean?
I can learn them, but I don't know how to do it right now. I don't know the steps.
You think they do?
No, I don't.
You think they don't, or do you just?
No, I don't think they. You
don't know.
I don't think they know at all.
I don't think so either. And so I'm just saying, I'd rather put my trust in a guy that built something from nothing than a guy that, just politician whole life.
But you have to live in Lorain. You have to live in the city to be the mayor.
And I'm not throwing shade at anybody. Just so we're clear, I don't anyone come after me for.
I'm not a fan of Bradley. I say it all the time.
Look, I'm not a fan of any politician right now.
I just don't see why you would have a criminal attorney run a city the last thing we needed.
I worked for the city for 10 years. And I'm telling you, when I worked for the city for 10 years, it was very apparent to me that everybody was putting in time. And that was what was wrong with the city. Because as long as you had the seniority, that's how you moved up in the city. So it wasn't competence. It wasn't innovation. It wasn't go get it, work hard, achieve anything. I believe in the Bible. God gave one man 1 bundle of money, another one 2 bundles, and another one 5. And he said, I'll be back. Now go invest it. So go work. And the person that made more, he said, good job. The person that did nothing, he said, you were wicked, lazy, and idle. And that was what was wrong with that system in Lorain. It was just, they rewarded apathy. They rewarded just prison sentence mentality where you just come to work. The dude I worked for, every day, he couldn't spell, couldn't read or write. He spelled patch wrong one time because he copied and pasted day to day. He spelled it wrong one time, and every day I check. He spelled it patich. And I was going to work for him. And I'm like, I can't keep working here, man. You guys, you know what I mean? And they're, and I'm like, I'm working for you guys because you've outlasted everyone else. And eventually it was a well-paying job. I thank George Corey for hooking a brother up back in the day. But I'm telling you, if you want the city to thrive, you're going to have to put people in that are, maybe they don't know the answers, but at least they go get it. At least they wake up every day and they're like, I'm going to turn this pile of 1 into a pile of 2. And then I'm going to turn a pile of 2 into a pile of 4. You don't need to know the answers, but you do need to have ambition. And you do need a policy and a procedure that's set in place that says we're not going to normalize drug use. We're not going to normalize poverty mentality. We're not going to keep buildings boarded up forever. We're just going to raise them and plant grass. Like it's just little things like that I think the city could do. And
it needs vision. Doing that for a while.
It needs vision. It needs vision. And it needs a man that's ambitious. It needs innovation. And I'm willing to contribute. Clearly I am. I still have my church there in Lorain. People have, offered me other places to go. I'm staying there. I love Lorain. I'm born in, I've gone to other places
unique,
in the world,
isn't it?
and I've met people from Lorain, and I'm like, you're from Lorain. I mean, literally, as soon as I'm like, where are you from?
My brother said that he can tell in Hawaii.
100%, dude. You're from, where are you from?
Yeah.
You're from Northeast Ohio. You might be Lorain. It is that way. And I just think it needs a lot of vision. And so I would challenge the voters to stop putting people in that promise you presents, that promise you a couple of bucks, that promise you, a Snickers bar. Stop doing that. Vote for vision. Put people in who have a vision, who cast a good vision, who can see the future and actually are able to say, this is what I see for you, and this is what I see for the city. And
well, I think what it needs is, a mayor, yeah, I guess, but you need.
It starts with the mayor.
It does start with a mayor, but what you do need is a committee, maybe.
Yeah, we talked about that.
I think that's what they need is like a committee, people to bounce each other's ideas off with a framework of ideas, like maybe you lock in a goal. You know what I'm saying? We lock in a goal. This is what we want. We want something done with the mill. We want something done on the riverfronts. We want, to bring some kind of industry back to some degree, something.
I'm gonna give you scripture. The Bible says, "My people perish for a lack of vision." There's no vision. Habakkuk tells us, write a vision down, make it simple so people can run. There's just nothing to run to. There's nothing
you get
to run
that.
To.
You make that vision of what you want it to look like in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And then get that committee
and then go for
say,
it.
this is how we want to do it.
Let's clean up the city. Let's bring tax dollars back to the city. Let's improve our school systems. Let's make it safe here. Let's hire more police officers, more teachers. Let's get rid of the administration of teachers. And let's have more teachers than we do admins. And get rid of let's get rid of those guys.
That should just go on in the whole world.
Let's get rid of those guys. We need
less
all of
admin than workers.
You need more workers.
Yeah.
And listen to your workers. You know those guys down there on the East Coast right now, those shoremen? Listen to those guys and give them what they want because they're making the world go around right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're going to teach you a painful lesson right now. And if you're voting for Kamala, you might want to reconsider because, right now it's more of what you're going to get.
It doesn't matter. Even if they make him go back to work, he already said we will do the very minimum, and you know what I mean? Because they can only make them go back for like 9 months.
Don't make them. Give them what they want. Just give these guys what they want.
But the president has the power to make them go back to work.
I know, but don't make them.
But he said, if
be
you
a better
make 'em,
president than that.
if you make them go back, you know,
it's over.
Yeah. No, you're supposed to go sit with them and help them negotiate.
It's the only honorable thing to do.
That's what I think.
It's an honorable thing to do. You know.
Yeah.
Just respect people. You know.
You say that. That's funny because my brother, he was running the paint at Rydell, and he still does actually. But he was running a paint room that does all the NFL helmets and all that stuff. And they changed the paints and stuff like that. Never once asked him, had him try them. He was so annoyed. Because he's like, I'm the one out here spraying this.
It's disrespectful.
Why would we not come to me and find out if this was the better product or not? You know what I mean?
You should ask
Eventually they did go with what he was saying, I believe.
Yeah.
But he had to deal with some pains, you know, for a minute. And it agitated and he's just irritated at work anyways. Yeah. And a simple question could have stopped him from being irritated and had everybody in a better mood.
Well, if he felt a little bit of honor there and respect, he's been there that long. It's just, man, the world is so grimy, dude. It's so messed up.
Well,
it's hard to.
That's a whole nother. But I think that would be the thing to do. The mayor with the vision, but a committee to help him put that vision into play and come up with some.
I'll be on the committee. You be on the committee?
I'd be more than willing to be on the committee for sure. I think
all right,
Jack,
go get a committee, and me and Jim will join the committee.
Yeah, I think that could be huge. I mean, you get like a Gardini, Scotty Campana.
You get all those guys together and tell them to go down there and invest some money.
Campana.
Although it just go on the other side of the Black River and build that side. Forget about the mill.
Make it so desirable they wouldn't have a choice.
Get on the other side and they go, oh, man. Millionaires will come in and be like, yeah, this is making money. This is a good idea.
Yeah.
But you got to paint a compelling vision. I mean, you got to put something out.
The problem is, I think where it comes into play, why this side is the most important is because it's the smoothest transition in. Because you could come right down 57. Or you could come right down Broadway and cut over.
Make it happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's been down there for years.
That
How
6
come
and 11
somebody...
cut is hard to deal with. Even though it's 50 miles an hour, like nobody ever does 50. And it's just, people just don't take that route coming in. You know what I mean? It's just not that.
It would be good. I mean, honestly, 57 would be good.
Yeah.
Because it would just bring to life everything.
Oh,
everything
yeah.
along 57. I mean, like I drove by hills. I drove by hills the other day, you know? I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's still there. And I don't go down there that often, you know? Like it's rare that I get to cut through the city and everything. But when I do, I'm like, that building's still there.
Yeah.
It's
Campana had it forever. He was doing his rods out of there forever. They had a nice little business going there for a while. Had a lot of people employed there. They were working. I don't know. I don't think they've been doing it there for a while now. I think everything's over there.
Whatever it is, it's empty. That's bad.
Yeah, I think everything's over at Clark. I don't know if Campana owns that though. I have no idea who owns that. I have no clue.
I don't know.
But yeah, I think it would be cool. I think that would be the way to do it. Yeah.
Guido, we should make Guido the next mayor.
Guido the next mayor?
Mm-hmm.
Guido is the unofficial mayor anyways.
He is.
Everybody knows Guido. Everybody knows Guido.
Guido, run for mayor.
Yeah. The problem with Guido is he has friends forever. You know, his friends are your friends forever.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he's not your friend, he's done. That's it. Lock. That's it. He don't want nothing to say with you anymore. He has nothing to talk to you about. That's it. It's a wrap.
No, Guido, you got to let that go, man.
Yeah, he doesn't let things go. No, there's no forgiving him.
That book says you have to forgive.
No.
70 times 7.
He just switches and boom,
he's like,
that's
no forgiveness here, buddy. I got nothing for you.
Yeah, he goes like, there's no reason to. I don't see a reason to. That's how he sees it. I don't know.
Oh, no, that's the sacred, man. We got to learn in society to hold on to the sacred and just withstand and make it through the differences. But if we just hold on to the sacred and eventually, you know, let the dust settle around what we disagree about whatever it is. Some of you mad at somebody, you know, this is what I try to teach people. Like, just hold on to the sacred. People are sacred. The people that God's put in your life, they're sacred. Hold on to them. Stop throwing them away. Stop disposing of them so easily. It's so easy to do. the harder thing to do, the thing that develops more character in you, is to hold on to somebody. You know, you have relationships, like we've been friends forever, right? That's rare. It's easy to just walk away from people. It's hard
I don't
to
think
hold
that
on.
we ever had any beef that I can think of, that I know of. I mean, we went our own ways. But
Yeah, but there's people in your life, if you just hold on.
There's nobody like us. Like we could hit talk for real. Like there's nobody in life. Like I got certain people, and it's the people from that era, like 4th grade to like 8th grade or whatever it is. Those people you can talk to different. You feel different about them. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that group that's just different. You know what I'm saying? Like Marlon.
You know him from, yeah.
I mean, like Marlon, I haven't talked to Marlon in forever, but I guarantee you me and Marlon could have lunch tomorrow and we're good. Like we would be chopping it up immediately. And it's just, and you know that you can be honest and you feel okay with them, and you just don't feel like that unless it's like those people from those, I don't know what it is. That's I tried to tell with Dylan. Like these relationships right now, believe it or not, these are your people.
Yeah, you got to hold on to them though, and there's so many people today. We live in a disposable society. Use thing once, throw it away. Somebody does something wrong to you. Look, Guido, man, you got to get over that. You got to hold on to people, man. There's some really good people that if you hold on to them through the stuff. And I get it. I get it. There's a lot of people that have done me dirty. But I'm like, I'm not throwing nobody in the trash, man. I'm not. Like, look, you come back, I'm still your guy. I'm gonna be your friend. I'm gonna go to bat for you. I'm gonna call you up. I'm gonna sit down at the lunch table with you and pretend like we're cool, because I believe we are. And I just want to encourage people, hold on to people. That people are sacred. The stuff that's happening in your life, look, everybody's facing their own stuff, you know, and they're all going through it, and they're all jacked up. You know, everybody's faced with fears and
people get mad, and it's like you say, like people get mad at people and think that person is something. Like whatever it is, I don't even know what it is, but it's really usually about that person. It's never about you. It's maybe their own insecurity or whatever it is. It's all them. It's never has to do with you, and it's not anything. And you're right. There's a big disconnect from people understanding that. I think people don't really I feel like I'm good with, like, I understand, like my wife is one that she's not. Like, I'm the first person that somebody comes and I kind of understand. I mean, I don't agree with it.
Right. You don't have to agree with it.
Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I don't understand.
But you can have empathy. And he's like, oh, right. Man.
My wife's not that person. She's just like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying she's evil or nothing. I'm not saying that.
She's just harder people.
You know what I mean? Like her family, you know, goes through stuff. My family, everybody's family goes through stuff. You know what I mean? And she just gets irritated quickly at people. And it's like, you don't ever see that you could have made that decision. Or I get, you know, the worst thing somebody could do in life is probably the worst thing that you're capable of.
Yeah, and
at the end of the day,
you need to know that you're capable of a lot of evil,
yeah. A lot of horrible.
Yeah,
shit.
That's 100. And then when we were talking last week, you were talking about like, no, most of the time people are good. I'm like, no, man, there is some resident evil in people that, if we're honest, like, we think horrible thoughts. We're just like, I know me. I look in the mirror and I'm like, ooh, it's scary. Like, I just look and I'm like, I know.
Still think most people want to be good.
They want to be.
Yeah.
But there is this nature of them that's bad. And most of it's not personal. And most of it's attached to just really bad things that have happened to people. I heard something say this the other day. My buddy Patrick Davis said this. It was fantastic. He said, most of us, see, our soul doesn't have an age. It experiences life at every age. And so when something happens to us at a particular age, whether it's 5, 15, 25, our soul just it moves on. And then we go in life past that, and then something happens. Somebody says something to us. Then it reawakens the damaged 5-year-old. And all of a sudden, what happened to you at 5 now comes out at 45. Right? And you're like, and you're sensitive to certain things, and and other things just drive you up the wall. I know that about me.
When we get off air, I'll tell you about the time I almost stabbed someone in the neck. True story.
Jimmy's will snap somebody in the neck. Hey, Jimmy, I'm glad you didn't, homie.
I'm glad I didn't either, but I'll tell you about it when we get off the air. But yeah, that's I don't know. That's
tough. It's tough. So just give everybody a break. Hold on to the sacred. People are sacred. Hold on to them. And I realize sometimes people are not very kind, but if you hold on to them, you know, it can be redeemed. It can be redeemed, and we should hold on to more people than we let go of. We should.
Yeah. Try to be more understanding.
Oh my gosh, I gotta go.
That's the key. All right. Well, let's get out of here then.
Let's get out of here.
All right, we're out of here then.
Good talking to y'all.
Everybody, try to be more understanding. Make sure you come for the clam bake.
Yes.
This Sunday, you got to get them by Saturday. So, all right, we're out of here.
Take it easy, guys.
See you later. Next time you hear us, it'll be Tucker and Thompson.
Tucker and Thompson. That's right.
All right, peace.